Hello everybody, this is Alex from Hardcoring Guides, bringing my guide for Devil May Cry 4 on Dante Must Die difficulty. Today we're doing Mission 19, entitled The Successor. So, this is our boss rush of the game. Kind of akin to, like, DMC3, kind of. But I would argue that, since this is not DMC3, this is a little bit easier for me to do. And honestly, we're just fighting the bosses as Nero. There's no need to play Dante anymore. Dante's gone. Not that I am happy about that. I don't know why I almost sounded like I was going to cry there for a second. And real quick, if you're not familiar with the dice, if you've never played the game, or if just somehow you're not really familiar with how the dice works, what you want to do is you want to wait for it to be on the number that you want. It's actually really that simple. It's bizarre how they made it that simple. So this is not a boss fight, no, but this is the only real non-boss fight that you're going to do. And then for the statue guys, it's the same as it's always been, but now you fight like 5 of them at once. And one of them happens to be none other than, of course, the elite version. Now, something to give a tip to. I do like using charge shot a lot. And that helps out a ton. Not just for the sake of beating these guys up, but actually, I'm pretty sure I do it in this video. I can't remember. It's been a bit. The void shot. So there's this big giant ball thing that when this guy, the elite one, gets everybody kind of together, there is a possibility they might do a void, like a giant dark hole ball shot thing. If you shoot off your charge shot, I don't think the level matters. If you shoot off your charge shot right before they get you with it, you can, basically, when they fire it off and it's coming toward you, like it's actually coming toward you, not just building up, but it's actually coming toward you, fire off a charge shot and you can knock it back and kill everybody instantly. But the thing is, it's still relatively RNG whether or not they're going to fire it anyway, or even do the attack anyway. And as far as I know, there's no real way to get them to activate it. So, as far as I know, again. And the good thing is, every time you beat a boss, or beat a stage, you are able to collect some orbs, usually green orbs. And the blue little panels on the Mario Party board here, they will also give you green orbs. I don't think they ever give you anything bad. Like, memory is telling me that they did, but I have no idea. Yellow panels just basically means you just instantly teleport to the last panel. Red means you have to fight enemies. So it's really just a pick your poison thing. And I'm not here to mess around. I just want to go ahead and beat the bosses and essentially just get this game over with. So every boss just plays the same way as it did before. You already, if you've played at this point in time, realistically, you shouldn't really need my help much because this is just essentially just a glorified boss rush. And as far as I'm aware, checkpoint-wise, once you get to Bale, that's a checkpoint. So, but I don't remember. I haven't really checked. I didn't die. I know I sound like an asshole, but I didn't die as much as you might think. So I didn't die to like Burial, not that I remember, or even like the first beginning fight. So I'm not sure if those are checkpointed or not. Well, I probably did die to them. I just can't remember if it was. That's, I guess, what I'm trying to say. I don't remember dying to Burial, though, but I don't know. Because Burial's pretty easy, for the most part. You just beat him down a few times, rev up your Bugatti, and then just, go in for the slam and all that fun stuff. The usual Burial stuff. Like, most of the bosses are pretty easy because, well, it's Nero and it's DMC4. DMC4 bosses are not really, like, super ridiculously difficult. Now, I know. I'm over here bragging. I know. But just, in my honest opinion, I don't feel like these bosses are anything really crazy. Like, even Sanctus, like the final boss himself, is not really that crazy. Well, definitely in comparison to Virgil. From 3, of course. I mean, that's, no surprise. Sorry if I sound like I'm super depressed. I'm not trying to. I just have nothing to really be exactly hyped up for right now because we're near the end of the game. I know that's exciting news, of course, but we're just fighting the same bosses again. I mean, there's nothing really happening. And we're so close to the end. I want to talk about the final boss and get it, get that going and what have you. And man, it's insane. The amount of damage that Nero himself can just do is crazy. Technically, Dante can do about the same type of damage if you've got the Lucifer pins, but for the most part, I mean, if you're really trying to style, like, I guess, I mean, I'm sure Dante probably could pull off a lot of really good damage for really good Dante players, but man, Nero just gets it going pretty hard. Now that I've actually started paying attention to it, and then for these guys, I gotta stop saying all the time. I'm doing basically the same thing I did before. I'm pretty much just jumping around, or even standing on the ground, just trying to reach for a grab. So that way I can just get a little bit of damage off of them, because any little bit helps, I guess. And then as soon as the arena goes back to being, lit up, that's a good sign that this is time to actually, fight. And you don't have to worry about dealing with all the little angler parts, because I hate that crap. That's partly why I don't really care much for this boss fight, because it takes too damn long. And then luckily we get the nice grab. I think I get 2 grabs. No, I think of something else. Ignore the sirens in the background if you can hear them. Apologize for that. Not much I can do, except maybe soundproof my room a little bit more. Also, whenever he's disappearing, you can attack him, which is kind of pretty helpful, I would say. And then while you're doing these guys, just rev up, that kind of fun stuff. And if you want a sort of free attack, kind of, because it seems to always kind of work, 'cause these guys like to dodge your moves. The streak move, while charged up, tends to do the trick. And then, of course, getting grabbed and then going into double trigger to break out of the ice. I don't think the ice does damage. I can't remember. I should have looked. But as far as I know, it doesn't really do damage. That was a good dodge, by the way. Just wanted to say that out loud. God damn, they're really getting kind of loud, aren't they? Well, you shouldn't be able to hear it in the video, but I don't know. I mean, it could happen. It's whatever. I don't even care anymore. I don't really care for this chapter, to be honest. It's just a for me, it's a cop-out. Like, man, we could have had either one more mission with Dante, but no, we gotta do this boss rush thing with Nero. And it's just kind of there, I guess. Yeah, you can fight enemies on the way there if you wanted to, if you really wanted to liven it up. But the idea that they have the yellow spots just right there, and they also have, what else? Well, mainly just a lot of these parts are easy to get, pretty easy to get to roll to, so it's kind of just nothing. Alright, so Echidna is obnoxious, a little bit, only when she's really on the ground. So when she does that explosion effect thing, she'll end up summoning these tentacles. I think she does this more in her boss rush fight than she did in her original fight, because I can't remember her doing it this often. But either way, just dodge accordingly. Run up to her, attack her with a few revs while you're attacking. It's just the simple... It's the same Nero combat you've seen the entire game. I can't really... At this point in time, I can't give any better advice. And I know I talked about the dice, but there's always a potential chance that somebody has beaten the game before, and they're looking at Dante Must Die, and they're looking at this specific chapter, and they didn't know about the dice thing. Or even for this instance, revving up your sword while you're attacking her. It actually does rev up with it. It's really nice, really helpful. Oh, and there's something else too. You'll see it at the very end, but those little plant egg things that are around the field that you can destroy, they do give you orbs, and they should give you like green orbs and stuff. So if you want to have some health in the fight, you can take that. Alright, so now she's yellow. She's not really in DT, but it's practically, basically, close to being DT anyway. This is a very good lucky thing for me to have happen. I just go for a couple of swipes. I think you can last quite a bit. You can do a few good swipes on her before she jumps. And then I just go for the grab, just to, get as much damage in as I possibly can. And then whenever she does that, I just tend to jump over to the other side of her when she's doing the tentacle thing. And then just kind of use the uppercut move with charged up, Red Queen. There's me taunting like an asshole because I think I'm funny. Yeah, like I said, you can break these and you can get orbs out of them. They might count toward the orb score for the triple S rank. I'm not sure. I actually missed them. I didn't see those. Or I just ignored or didn't care. I don't know. It could be a number of things, man. This was a week ago by now, and I've kind of forgotten. I've already kind of moved on from Devil May Cry 4 at this point, because I'm already done with it. I don't want to... It's just one of those things where it's like, yeah, I got it done, but I got it done just quick enough to where I don't really... It's not that I don't care to get these videos finished. It's just more so that I've already played the entire game. I feel like I'm done. So, kind of sucks out a little bit of the fun. I know. I should be careful about doing stuff like that. Alright, Agnes is the real treat of this. And like I said, there should be some checkpoints. I don't remember exactly where they're at. I think if you, as far as I remember, if you die on Bale, he does give you a checkpoint before him. But you do have to go, do the dice to get back. So Agnes fight is a lot easier than, in my opinion, a lot easier to do than Dante. But then again, if you're a really good Dante player, it's probably the opposite. And it's the same shtick. You want to throw the swords back at him. If you want to knock the swords away out of this void, you can, which is pretty cool. And I think Devil Trigger swipes should do the trick too, at least for Nero-wise. And then, of course, when he's charging up, I'm just going to go and hit him a few times and stop him from doing that. And if I get the chance to grab, which I completely missed right there, by the way. If I get the chance to grab, I'm going to try to take it. And if he does get a little bit annoying with his charged up moves, throwing a sword at him, not in Devil Trigger, because it takes just a little bit longer to do. Yeah. Also, I think when you're in Devil Trigger, I don't think he can grab you, because that was his grab move. Also, the dogs, when they appear, they're not really much of a big threat. Also, man, I was about to give up here. Genuinely, I was really just, thumb close to the touchpad, or whatever, start button, whichever one it was, ready to just completely quit mission. Because I was like, I'm not going to take no freaking... I don't want to do all this again. But, hey, you get to see my mistakes, and you could not make those same mistakes that I do. If he goes to grab you, make sure you have DT. I would suggest, for this fight, not wasting your DT that often. At least have 3 bars, just in case he grabs you, because there's always a chance that he could. Again, unless you're really good at Agnes. Which some people might say, like, well, if you're already good at Agnes, then why are you watching this guy? Maybe for fun. You never know. Now, for this move right here, wait for him to get close to throwing it and just keep jumping. Honestly, I got incredibly lucky there. There was nothing else that happened. It was just basically pure luck. There was no skill involved. I was just trying to jump randomly and hope it worked. And somehow I completely dodged off his attacks. I don't know. That I'm sure somebody funny one day is going to say, well, yeah, that's because you're cheating. Because you have no damage hacks on. Okay. So I use it for that one move. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, yeah, because you're trying to make it look like it's more realistic. Okay, buddy. I don't know. Hey, maybe I did. You never know, right? You never really know. I don't know. I'm sorry. There's, like I said, there's nothing really going on. It's the same crap we've been doing the entire time, and I guess I'm just old and miserable now, so that's always fun. But there you go. Agnes is done. Nothing really to worry about. Shoot him till he's dead. Basically, taunt him. There you go. Get out of here, loser. I was so excited when I finally beat him for this part, because I'm like, oh, thank God. I don't have to do any of this anymore. Like I said, I'm not a big fan of this chapter. It's not a terrible chapter, just... I don't know. Alright, that's it. No more fighting until the next chapter. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you all next time for some more Devil May Cry 4, and we're going to finally fight the final boss, Sanctus. So that's going to be interesting, and yeah, we'll see you then. So take care, everybody.